I've been coming to the Rock Church for about 4.5 years. I became a Christian at the age of 23 and was very active in my church, but never had been taught much about tithing. Pretty much just give, whatever you decide in your heart that you can give, and try to give it as faithfully as you can. So when I first started coming to the Rock Church, Pastor Kirk started talking about tithing in a very specific way, which was very new to me. He taught that you take 10% off the top of everything, your paycheck, everything that you have. And at first to me that was okay because I was living off of money in the savings account, which was not hard to do. I just took out the amount I was going to live on that week and tithed off of that money. Then about 3 years ago, I started working in 2 dental offices part-time, good jobs. Several months ago, I lost my main job, and tithing became much more difficult. I asked my close friends here in the church if I should tithe or whether I should just pay my bills and not tithe. And all of them said, "Lori, don't stop tithing, that God has something good for you. It's right around the corner. Always when it's at its worst is when he's gonna move." About 2 weeks ago, the dentist that I worked for called me and said, "Lori, I've sold my dental practice, and we need to have a meet and greet on Saturday." I didn't really even have the money to buy the gas to go to Franklin, but I went anyway. And we all sat at lunch and started talking about what we were going to do. While we did, one of the assistants stood up and said, "Well, I have another job that I really want to take, and if you guys have got this handled, I'd really like to go on to this other job." Well, that left us short an assistant, and the dentist said, "Well, we're going to have to do something." And I said, "I need more hours." And he said, "Well, would you like to just come on as an assistant? And the other assistant can train you." Matter of fact, the other assistant is going on maternity leave here in about 3 weeks. So that's going to provide me full-time work with benefits, which is what I have been praying for at least a year. The really, really awesome part about the whole thing with the meet and greet at the lunch was that right before we ate lunch, the dentist and his wife said, "I'd like for everybody to join hands." And as we did, the dentist said, "I'd like to say a blessing." The dentist said an awesome blessing over our food and about success in our office. And then after we said the blessing, I looked at his wife and I said, "That is really neat that he said a blessing." And she said, "Oh, our family loves Jesus." So not only am I working in an office that I love to work in, but I'm actually working for a person that loves Jesus. How awesome is that? I am just so thankful to Pastor Kirk for just teaching us about tithing and about God's faithfulness, and how if we will truly trust Him with everything that we have and everything that we are, that He will be faithful. And as Pastor Kirk has told me, God will promote you at the proper time. You just need to be faithful. God is faithful.